You know that specific, intense wave of relief that washes over you the second you hit send on a cancellation text? It's 6:45 p.m. You were supposed to be getting ready for that thing, that dinner, that meeting, that party, but suddenly, the thought of actually putting on pants and making small talk feels like scaling Everest. So you bail. And instead of guilt, there's this profound, almost illicit comfort. You're alone. The door is locked. The silence is golden. And it feels incredible. Why does opting for isolation, what we call loneliness or social exhaustion, feel so strangely addictive? We need to stop labeling this immediate preference for solitude as a personal failing. Society usually shames this behavior. We're told we're being bad friends, or maybe we just have social anxiety, or that we need to try harder to connect. But what if that intense, magnetic pull toward solitude isn't a sign of moral or social failure, but actually a highly efficient, though ultimately dangerous, psychological coping mechanism? You aren't antisocial. You've simply been cornered by your own nervous system into choosing immediate, predictable comfort over risky, complex connection. We need to talk about why loneliness is rapidly becoming the new comfort food for the stressed-out modern brain, and why behavioral science predicts this is only going to get worse. Here's how the neuroscience breaks down the loneliness loop. Your brain operates on two primary principles: seeking reward and conserving energy. Think about socializing in the modern context. It's incredibly taxing. You have to monitor body language, manage tone, calculate appropriate emotional responses, deal with conflict potential, and handle the overwhelming stimulation of a public space. Your brain views this as high risk, high cost, and high effort. When you cancel plans and choose your couch, you eliminate all that noise, all that processing effort instantly. That sudden cessation of effort, that moment of profound energetic conservation, releases a small, immediate squirt of feel-good chemicals. That's a predictable dopamine hit. Your brain registers this outcome. Solitude are safe, predictable, easy. It's the easiest win of the day. It's a guaranteed reward with zero expenditure. And here's the kicker of the behavioral trap. The more you choose that isolation, the stronger the neural pathway becomes. We are creatures of efficiency. The brain loves to automate behavior, especially those that reduce perceived threat and maximize immediate comfort. Over time, that neural shortcut becomes the default pathway. When it's faced with the choice between the known, quiet safety of being alone and the unpredictable, high-effort reward of real connection, the brain starts actively pushing you toward the path of least resistance, defending the comfort zone it has meticulously built. That comfort zone isn't built of warmth and deep contentment, it's built of repetition and predictability. And for a generation facing constant demands, overwhelming information, and widespread anxiety, predictability is basically a drug. It feels like control. It feels like safety. And because the reward for choosing isolation is instant and guaranteed, while the reward for showing up takes sustained effort and may involve rejection, the brain prioritizes the low-hanging fruit. This is how loneliness becomes highly habit-forming. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about shaming solitude. Solitude is essential. It's where we recharge, reflect, and create. But there's a crucial difference between choosing productive solitude and defaulting to avoidant isolation. When loneliness becomes the default, because the reward pathway for canceling plans is stronger than the pathway for showing up, that's when it becomes a cycle that actively detracts from your happiness. It feels good right now, but it doesn't build lasting fulfillment. If you feel that familiar tug telling you, just stay home, it's easier, understand that feeling is legitimate. It is not a character flaw. It's your brain optimizing for short-term survival and energy conservation in a world that often feels too loud and too demanding. But optimization, in this case, comes at a heavy social cost. Our deep evolutionary need for connection, for belonging, is biological. When we consistently substitute the quick dopamine hit of isolation for the complex, enduring rewards of true intimacy and community, We are essentially starving a core part of ourselves. It's like eating sugary snacks instead of a full meal. You get an immediate spike, but the crash is inevitable and often leaves you feeling emptier than before. So the next time you feel the loneliness loop pulling you back in, don't hate yourself for it. Don't internalize it as a lack of willpower. Recognize it for what it is: a highly automated, energy-saving shortcut rooted in behavioral science. If you want to break the cycle, you don't need to commit to a huge, stressful event. You just need to commit to 5 minutes of low-stakes, real interaction. Send the text, show up for 15 minutes, interrupt the pattern just slightly. Because the deepest comfort isn't found in the absence of people. It's found in the predictable strength of showing up for yourself, even when your highly efficient, anxiety-dodging brain begs you to stay safely hidden. If this explanation of behavioral science helped you understand why you sometimes prefer that familiar feeling of being alone, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into why we do the things we do.